Welcome to FailCraft, the podcast where we dive into the messy, real side of success and explore how setbacks become the stepping stones for growth and clarity. I'm your host, Ezekiel Iferia, and today's guest is Michelle Walters. She had a successful corporate career in digital marketing. Then, during the pandemic, the unthinkable happened. She experienced a massive wave of heartbreak when her dream life partner passed away. Her life plan completely collapsed, but instead of letting that setback destroy her, she used it to pivot. She realized that we cannot just logic our way through profound grief. Willpower alone is a failure. True change happens beneath the surface. Today, she is a clinical hypnotherapist. She helps people rewrite their outdated behavioral scripts. She also sits at the cutting edge of wellness and technology. She created Make My Hypno, an app that leverages AI to generate highly personalized custom hypnosis tracks. She's here to talk about the failure of the conscious mind, surviving heartbreak, and the modern path to inner healing. So, Michelle, I am excited to welcome you to the show. Thank you very much for joining us here today.
I'm glad to be here, Ezekiel. Thank you for having me.
I am truly excited to have you here, and I look forward to the conversation. So let's get things started. When we face a massive life disruption or trauma, we often try to logic or hustle our way back to normal. So is relying purely on willpower and logic actually a massive failure of the subconscious mind?
I don't know that it's a failure of the subconscious mind, but you can't think your way through grief. Many people have tried. I would guess that, I don't know, I bet a lot of people, if not most people, spend a little bit of time thinking that they can think their way through grief as opposed to emotionally have to walk through the consequences. It's a big deal to lose somebody in your life or to lose the way that something has worked in your life. For me, I was confronted with a wonderful, lovely man who I expected to spend my life with. And then lo and behold, he was diagnosed with a very, very rare terminal illness. And despite some good treatment, some things that seemed to be going in the right direction, ultimately that disease took his life. And I'm a logical girl. I'm a smart girl. I thought for a little while, I'll just think my way through this. And while thinking can help, it is essential you can't think your way through it. You have to feel your way through it. You have to be in touch with your heart as you go through it. And that's what me and I think all grievers really have to do. Now, people do that in their own ways. What looks like grief for one person might not look like grief for somebody else, but it's a heart process.
All right. So, you help people let go of outdated, unhelpful thinking patterns. So, when someone is stuck in a loop of self-sabotage, what's actually happened beneath the surface, and how does hypnosis bypass those failed conscious barriers?
It happens all the time. We develop these little processes, these little ways of thinking, these assumptions and remarks and ways of going about things that can be really, really self-sabotaging and not put us in the right state. I am fortunate enough that I'm trained in hypnosis and hypnotherapy, and I have some special techniques where I can help people identify what's really going on beneath the surface. It's sort of said that the conscious mind is like the top of the iceberg extending above the sea, and the subconscious is the bottom of the iceberg. And sometimes you can figure out what's going on in your own iceberg. And I have tools for people who are kind of there. But when you need someone to help you discover what is beneath the surface, that's where a practitioner like me comes into play.
All right. Michelle. So, you personally, you transition from corporate digital marketing to clinical hypnotherapy. after the devastating loss of your partner. So how do you find the clarity to completely rewrite your own life's script when your original dream plan violently collapsed?
I realized that even though my partner had passed away, I hadn't
Mhm,
passed away. I'm still a young, vibrant person
mm,
and wanted to find some new ways of contributing to the world. Just because my partner isn't here doesn't mean I don't have more to play out in this lifetime. And so I dusted off a hypnosis certificate that was on the wall but not being used and started opening my office and started seeing clients and helping them with their processes. And honestly, helping others has been part of my way of helping myself through grief. That as I can help others to discover what is behind their weird paranoia or behind their driving anxiety or behind their overeating or stopping smoking, that the process of helping others in their lives is genuinely builds my heart. And as I can build my heart, it gets me further and further. It's kind of like a snowball as it rolls down the hill, it picks up snow and gets bigger and bigger. And that's the way I like to think about my work.
all right, all right, all right. That is a really fantastic response, Michelle. So you created Make My Hypno. So could you give us an overview of what it's about and what it does, how it helps the users?
So, Make My Hypno is a fantastic way to get a little bit of personalized custom hypnotherapy, um,
Mm-hmm.
not at the full price rate of actual time spent with me. So, what I realized was that while there are clients who really need, in terms of their to fully recover from whatever they've got going on, they need to work with a professional one on one. That's what is going to help them with their challenges. But there's thousands, maybe millions of people out there who could use the process of hypnosis to elevate their thinking, to reframe the way they're thinking about something, to give a great presentation when they've been really shy, or to start exercising or sleeping better. And that through the magic of technology, these recordings can be custom made and produced and delivered to the client in just a matter of a few minutes. So, if your listeners wanted to get a boost for confidence or sleep or anxiety or any one of about 20 things, they can go to makemyhypno.com, put in just a little bit of information about themselves, and it will create a custom hypnosis recording that's over 15 minutes long in my voice for their situation. And I wasn't sure how all this was going to work out, if people were going to like these recordings or not, but it worked out great. And I get a lot of very, very positive testimonials from the people who are using my app. I call it an app, but it's really a .com. It's makemyhypno.com. But it's a way of being able to access custom hypnosis when you don't need one-on-one therapy in a very loving and efficient way.
All right, all right. So you created Make My Hypno because pre-recorded, made for everyone audio tracks often fail to lasting change. So why does a generic approach to wellness usually fall flat? Well, in cases of highly
They
specific.
can be okay. I mean, they can be okay. I just don't think they're nearly as effective and powerful. So if you were to go and pick up a hypnosis recording and the hypnosis recording said that you're at the beach and you're imagining all of this stuff, but you don't like beaches, well, you're just not going to relax as much. The
Mm,
power of it won't go as deep.
mm,
Versus if you can have your recording made just for you and you don't like beaches, you like mountaintops or you like streams or you like your bedroom. You can make these kinds of choices within Make My Hypno to be able to make the recording be the way you want it. And when the recording is the way you want it, you're going to relax more. The effectiveness is going to go deeper. Your subconscious is going to like it and be like, oh, I like this. I'm going to take those suggestions to the next level. So I don't have any scientific proof. I just know that people do better with hypnosis the more that it is customized for them, the more that it's for their situation, their happy place, their affirmations. And that's what Make My Hypno is all about.
Okay. So, you talk about, the Make My Hypno app giving you a response tailored to your custom personal need. Like, for example, maybe you don't like a beach. It avoids using that and uses what you would prefer as an alternative. So how does it get all the necessary informations to create the audio that is tailored to your personal need? Is it that it uses the AI to figure it out, or is there a way it does that?
It is using a couple of layers of information to weave together the script for an individual. It
Mm,
uses 4 little fields of information that I collect from users when they come to the forum. So there's 4 things. It's not too big of a list. And then it weaves that input information with my directions. And my
mm.
directions summarize my background in clinical hypnosis. So, using the metaphors I like to use, using my phrasing, using my timing, all of those kinds of aspects are incorporated into the way that the custom hypnosis recording is built. And there are people who are hesitant because they're like, it's AI. But if you think about it, what's AI really good at right now? It's good at making words go together and sound really good. And
Mm.
it's good at being positive. And hypnosis leans into being positive. And so these underlying aspects of the way the AI works in 2026 actually are really helpful as a very solid foundation behind the app Make My Hypno.
All right. Thank you very much for that clarification. So, there's a fear that artificial intelligence is called sterile and the opposite of wellness by some people. So how did you figure out a way to use AI to actually, make the deeply intimate process of shifting brainwaves more personal, rather than less with artificial intelligence?
Well, AI does what you tell it to for the most part. And so it took some training and experience and some trial and error to get it to write scripts like me. Now they aren't exactly like me, but they're an acceptable duplicate. And as I listen to some of the things that it comes up with, I mean, even though it's my creation, I am sometimes surprised at how clever it can be in terms of connecting ideas and representing things in a good way. You know, I, I mean, could somebody else build this? Sure, they could, but it makes a lot more sense to build it if you're a hypnotherapist because we know what kinds of things you do and don't want to say. What are good approaches and not good approaches and that kind of thing. I mean, keep in mind, it's an audio recording. And it's really, really good for what it is. But like I said, if you are a person who's been struggling with a phobia your whole life or been struggling with something that's really hard to change, it's a good starting point. It may or may not get you the distance you're trying to go.
Okay, so Mitchell, some people are quite doubtful of things they hear. So, some people might think they might hear hypnosis and immediately think, oh, a stage magician making someone cluck like a chicken or something. But how do you strip away the woo-woo stigma and explain the actual clinical neuroscience behind what you do?
So, for years we didn't know what made hypnosis work. People knew it worked, but people didn't know why. And so when we
Mm.
didn't know why, we thought this is like ghosts or something like that. And now we're beginning to have better equipment, better science, better technology to understand why it is that hypnosis works. And a famous scientist down at Stanford University, Dr. David Spiegel, has done some research that shows that when people are in a state of hypnosis, certain parts of their brain dial down. And when those parts of your brain are less active, it makes you more open to suggestion, more open to doing new things, more focused. In short, it kind of allows your brain to build some new circuitry around the new thought pattern that you're trying to embrace. So, can we explain all the details? No, not yet. But we certainly have some very good scientific data that gives us some very good hints about why hypnosis works. Hypnotherapy will not make anybody cluck like a chicken if they don't want to cluck like a chicken. It's really that simple. It is entirely consensual. Anytime you don't want to be hypnotized, you can just pop yourself out of it. It's not a big deal. But if you are game to go, if you are willing to trust, willing to go deep, all kinds of change can happen.
All right, all right. Thank you very much for that clarification again. So, for the listener in our audience who is exhausted from trying to use pure willpower to break a bad habit or heal from heartbreak and feeling like they are constantly failing, so what's the very first step they can take today to start speaking to their subconscious to make a change?
I think the very first step somebody can do is to just take a beat, take a pause, take a deep breath. We live in such a fast-paced world. Everybody thinks everything should be done instantaneously. And, you don't get over grief instantaneously. You don't get over bad habits instantaneously. Take a breath, show yourself some compassion, and recognize that change is possible. That's the first step. The second step is figuring out what are the actions you're going to take in order to remediate your problem. What is it you want to do? Is that talk to somebody? Is that journal? Is that try an app? People can go the next place. But the first thing you got to do is pause and give yourself a little love and compassion.
All right, thank you for sharing that. So, Mitchell, lastly, for our listeners who want to go check out Make My Hypno or connect with your clinical work, where is the best place for them to go?
There's 2 places to go. My app is called makemyhypno.com. You can go there on any browser on your phone or computer. And if you're interested in learning more about me, my name is Michelle Walters, and my website is michellewalters.net. You can learn all about my various things I do, like hypnosis and classes and that kind of a thing.
Okay, Mitchell, it has been such an amazing and insightful conversation with you here today, and I am again excited to have a conversation with you. Thank you very much for joining us on the podcast and for bringing value to FailCraft.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on FailCraft.